Awesome. So I'm excited to be hanging out with you two. It's my first time catching you. I've been seeing your name all over flyers, so you're clearly active, up and down California. I know you're from out in LA. That's a scene I've been desperately wanting to get out to. I've been out there a few times, but for heavy stuff, been wanting to go out there and see what the goth scene's like and whatnot. So, but yeah, thrilled to see you two playing here. I've been listening to your discography nonstop. One interesting thing I noticed was the very first single that came out, very kind of more heavily compressed, in your face, almost EBM, like more modern sounding. And then I noticed you all pulled away from that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and
good
it
year
went
on
more
that one.
traditional goth, Spanish rock.
That one's a cover.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that one's
so
a
that
cover.
one's
Shame
a
on me for not
cover.
recognizing that, but
It's fine.
it's cool.
When we do
Not a lot of
covers,
people know it,
when we do covers, we don't want it to be exactly the same as like the original. So it's cool that you didn't recognize it. It's by Lebanon Hanover. So,
I didn't realize that. I love them. I didn't realize.
but
okay.
it's like a song that's not like super out there from
Yeah,
them.
one of the deep cuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just listen to it all the time, and
So
we
that
enjoyed
one was
singing
just
it.
basically us trying to
Yeah.
work together musically, because we used to do covers, but just acoustically, with videos and stuff like that. And then that's when we're like, why don't we just start recording actual songs and stuff like that. But that was just kind of just see what happened or where it went with it, and it just kind of just took off on its own. So that
Worked on it, and I think we just recorded 3 days, and then he mixed it or whatever and did his magic, because he does that.
I like that you said heavily compressed, because it is. It's way different, and I think after that we did our first single, which was Granadas, and then that's when we actually started exploring our sound. Because you're right. It was very it's almost heavily produced, and it is very EBM.
And that was when I was kind of experimenting with my vocals, because I've never sang before. I started dating him, and he's a musician, and he's the one that got me singing and doing covers and everything. And it's let's do this cover, and I didn't know my range or how my style, and I understand it a lot more now.
We actually still have trouble with that song,
Yeah.
now, because we do have a different sound, and vocally we do different things. That one's still kind of it kind of still throws us off
sometimes we throw it out of the set, like we did that
It hasn't
tonight.
been in our set,
Sometimes we
if
put it
something's
back
got to
in.
go, that's the one. That's the first one to go.
Yeah. That's almost
yeah,
okay.
sure, yeah.
We need a shorter set. Throw that one out.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's kind of that's kind of the impression I got. This was their first track they put out. After that, they locked in their sound, and that's really what it sounds like.
Yeah.
From there on out, all of it has the same kind of cohesion. And also that leads me to my next question. I noticed only a handful of songs have synth bass, and I really like how much it transforms the tone when that's introduced. And I also like that when the synth bass is thrown in there, it's played like an actual bass. I can tell this is a bass player because it feels like a real bass. I'm like, this is what he would have played on actual bass. But what I think is cool is you two go from having this more traditional goth Spanish rock sound, and then all of a sudden it's a little closer to more modern, dark wave EBM type. And it's usually, I noticed it's the synth bass that does that every time, because everything else kind of still feels similar, but that
It's
just
just
kind
too
of
low, yeah. I'm definitely a bass player, so it is definitely influenced a lot with just regular bass playing. That was my first instrument. But it's also very influenced by a lot of high energy, because my mom was really big into the just the dancey stuff back in the day. So that
what
those
kind of dancey stuff? I'm curious. So
kind
my
of
mom was into disco and stuff, so that's
Italo
rubbed off on me.
disco,
Yeah.
what's his name, Johnny O,
Okay,
shit
nice.
like that. So a lot of those synth basses or those dancey beats are kind of integrated in me. And then my father was the rocker, and he was the rock en español.
He's still a
influence.
musician.
Yeah,
He's still around.
he's a musician.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the blend. Yeah. And then I had a lot of punk rock roots, so there's kind of a little mixture of that too.
I definitely feel that when the tempo picks up. As soon as the tempo picks up, the drums get a little angry, a little faster. I'm like, you definitely get some of that proto-punk kind of post-punk vibe. But none of it feels tacked on. That I want to point out. I love how seamless all of it feels.
Would you say tacked on?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
like added on after the fact, kind of.
Okay.
If me being a death metal artist all of a sudden wants to be like, hey, what if we had a country part? Like, no, we're not going to put a country lick right here in the middle of this. You know what I mean? Just because you think that's cool, it has to feel like. It has to feel a little natural, you know what I mean? Like,
nice.
and if it's a natural influence,
I think that's
it'll
the most
shine through.
important thing with our music is just we just do whatever is natural. Like you said, some of them have synths, some of them don't, like synth bass, some of them don't. It's just whatever we feel like, oh, this needs to have a little of this or a little of that. And that's why all the songs kind of sound different.
Yeah. Sound different, but still have that kind of, I don't know what it is that unifies it, but they definitely also
I don't know what it
It's
is.
still cohesive. Yeah, it's still cohesive. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. So we're still kind of exploring our sound too. So
Yeah.
Oh no, that's even more
we're like
exciting.
at the early stages for sure. Still,
I'm curious, having, and this is part of what I love about doing this is, I just completely nerd out on an artist for about a week or so, and then I get to watch them live and see how all of that translates. I noticed a few of the singles had made it onto the EP, but I also noticed the introduction that you added. And I
that
felt
was fun. Yeah, that was
so.
fun.
I'm inspired by like horror movie soundtracks, and so when I listened to that, I felt like I kind of was hearing a kindred spirit, but I didn't know if that's what I was going for, because half of it sounds more like, okay, I'm like, this is either something horror horror soundtrack inspired, or like this is supposed to be some kind of ritual, or both. So
It's
It's both.
It's
It's both.
both, yeah.
So I love horror. that's like my big thing. But whenever we went to Mexico,
Every time we go to Mexico,
we always get samples from the TV, like whatever they're playing,
I don't know
because
why- I
the
don't know
horror
why
movies
they
theirs
always
are
play
really
horror
good.
movies in the hotels we stay in Mexico.
And they're really good. And this one is Veneno para las Hadas, was like Poison for the Fairies.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
So that movie is about like these kids that these two girls that kind of like dabble in magic unintentionally, because she's trying to be edgy and weird, but she accidentally does get into magic, and in the end she ends up dying. But that scene, the sample that we got,
It's like a blood pack.
she does a blood plaque.
And they're using black candles, so that's why we're like, oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
so
Like,
the
Velas
sample
Negras.
says like, why are you painting the candles black? And I'm like, that's fucking perfect.
That's absolutely
It's like,
perfect.
rewind it. We gotta sample that and use it for something,
No, that's incredible. I'm glad I asked, because I was really curious about it. Have you seen a movie called Angelus? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's like the Angel of Light in Spanish.
No.
It's like, it was this really cool like 90s like Spanish horror film. It inspired the whole aesthetic behind The Crow, and I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
Super
I gotta check
angsty
that
teenager
out.
possessed by a demon. I'm a sucker for possession films, so
Yeah,
but that one's definitely up there. And I was like, oh, I wanted to ask about that.
Okay.
Angel of Light in
Yeah,
Spanish.
we definitely need to watch it.
We'll watch that. Okay.
Speaking of which, so I've noticed slight occult themes in what you all do, even some symbolisms. I saw the pomegranate, I saw the Ouroboros, which really cool, by the way, single with Kid
Yeah.
Barrett. That's another artist I'm wanting to see live.
That's the homie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kid Barry. That's the homie.
How much does that play a factor into the I guess like the songwriting and tonality of things? I mentioned this earlier before the interview. I've encountered plenty of like occult imagery, but rarely anyone that incorporates it further than that, than just as on their merch or whatever. How much does that play into what you do, like as far as writing and performing and?
Well, we live it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
we live it.
That's
So
beautiful.
it isn't
Yeah.
something that we just write just to be edgy and
Yeah,
cool.
no.
Yeah.
And we live it, and like even people see our music videos and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" Where it's like, it's just stuff from our house right here.
Yeah.
Like these crosses, they're just right here.
that's incredible, yeah.
This candle we already had. And,
Uh-huh.
but like pomegranates they mean a lot to us, because when we started dating. So that whole song is about like a poem I wrote to him.
Oh, that's
and, like he has stolen pomegranates for me, but at the same time, it's like that
Hades
whole
and Persephone.
Hades
And-
Persephone kind of
So
like dynamic.
When I asked her out, it was during the autumn equinox.
Yeah.
So that's when Persephone goes into the underworld.
Yeah.
And that's when we have winter.
Yeah, and he painted me like this
Heart pomegranate.
heart pomegranate with like two hands over it, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend. So
Yeah.
that song Granadas, which is pomegranates, means so much, and it has so much symbolism. Like,
It's a declaration of our love.
yeah, if
Oh,
people
that's amazing.
read
Yeah.
the lyrics, they wouldn't understand it, but it's like a poem that has a lot of like
I helped
semblance,
her translate
like,
it, and we kind of, it was funny because
secrets between the both of us.
when
you
she
know?
wrote the poem, it was like just experiences that I would know that we went through together, and it's like I just started crying as soon as I finished the poem. She's like, you know, like what each phrase was, and I'm like, yeah, I know. This is from when we did this. This is from when we did that. And I just thought it was just so beautiful.
I think that's powerful. That's amazing. I'm really glad I asked that one. That's such a cool story behind that song.
And
That's
also,
awesome.
that song is like amazing. Also because his daughter helped us write it.
Oh.
She was 3 at a time.
Wow.
She helped us with the melody.
Yeah.
Like she just started humming it, and we're just like, oh,
She
write
was there
that
when I was
down.
she was there when I was producing it, and then I just heard her like humming the melody. I'm like, that's the melody. And
That's
I'm like,
the
that's
song.
the hook.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the hook.
That's absolutely beautiful. So just a couple more questions. I would like to know what's next. I saw that EP, was out, recently, but I'm curious to know if there's more songs coming up, any music videos or anything you two are up to.
We have some new songs that we're still sitting on because we still want to promote Abre Camino. Since it's just very fresh still.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
released it in October. We toured in Mexico with it, but definitely we have a music video coming out for the Abre Camino single.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's going to be fun. It's like basically all our Mexico travels.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
kind of
like
already
that.
started it, but
Yeah.
we just need a few things and then
It's
edit
a lot
it.
of footage from Mexico.
Yeah.
And then also
That
that,
should be really cool to see. I can't
working
wait to
on
see that.
some
Yeah.
collaborative projects.
We have some collaborations
as well,
with some friends. Shout out to Skyplant. Some other friends too who want to do some remixes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then
We do have some singles, but
we're still sitting on those. We got like I'll just give a little hint. Like we have a cumbia rebajada coming out.
that's
It's like a rebajada. It's a little more new. It's not like traditional cumbia. It's a little more like rebajada.
Uh-huh.
A little darker.
A little darker.
I love the
Of
old
course.
cumbia vibe. There's not enough artists like that, so I'm excited to hear that track.
So that one's gonna be fun. So yeah, we have a few things up our sleeve. Just
That's exciting.
Yeah.
you
That's
guys gotta
exciting.
wait. You guys gotta wait a little bit. Be patient with us.
Okay, so one last one, and this is one I usually try to keep things as different as possible, but this year I would like to ask one artist the same question at the end of every interview. Why do you feel like it's important right now to participate in art? Not just for yourself, but for everybody. Like, I know it's kind of a big question, but it's been on my mind a lot, and so I don't have an answer either.
That's a big one, yeah. But I guess like in a nutshell, I mean, art is universal, and it's been with us throughout the ages, and sometimes the artist is bigger than the king or the priest. The artist actually makes the culture of the time.
That's why there's so many artists that get
Yeah.
murdered, actually,
Yeah.
because they have so much
They
influence.
have big voices, and they speak their minds, and that's why there's a lot of them get shut down. So I think it's important because we do shape the culture. I mean,
Yes.
we have kings and we have presidents and we have priests or religions, but the artist does kind of cultivate and shape the culture or the time that we live in.
I think it's important to be like everyone is like a form of a god. Like everyone is able to create and like bring something to life, and I feel like that's beautiful. Like if you just put your mind to it, like you'll bring something from birth all the way to life and death. Like when you get over it and you're like, I need to do something else different, then you like plant a seed and you grow it, and it's like beautiful. Everyone
It
is a god.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with the two of you, and I just feel like we're surrounded by death right now, and nothing could be more resistant than expressing life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we're about to witness right now, going in and watching everyone dancing and
Yeah.
seeing you two do what you do, and I'm
It's
excited
a celebration of life and
most
everything going on.
definitely. So I want to thank you two for your time. Where can
Thank
people
you.
find you online? What's the most active social that you're on?
We're mostly active on Instagram under Velas Negras _
Awesome.
Facebook, we hardly use it, but everything we upload on Instagram still goes to Facebook on its
We have a
own.
TikTok too.
We have a
Velas
TikTok
Negras.
too, and YouTube, of course. We have 2 music videos, so yeah, you can just find our shit there.
Awesome. I'll include all the links in the show notes, and hopefully people come. If they haven't checked you out already, hopefully they get a chance to check you out. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What is the
Others?
Others? Thank you, others. Shout out
Thank
Velas
you.
Negras. We're here in Fresno, Tower District. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.